So I know that the atheist gamer made a response to this video, Why I Oppose GamerGate by Tim the Bizzard. Bizzard? Okay, whatever. I hope I pronounced that right because I don't want to make that mistake, you know. But whatever. This will be my response. Because, you know, why not?
Why do I oppose GamerGate?
Because you hate ethics, and you're against freedom of speech, and you really don't want artistic freedom.
I oppose GamerGate for a couple of reasons.
Namely two, but whatever. Both of which I think are bullshit.
It seems to... GamerGate seem to have no legitimate concerns.
What? Okay, care to explain?
The ethics in games journalism angle seems to me to be a complete red herring.
How? You just put it out there. Like, how is it a red herring? Does the websites who have actually changed their ethics policies and disclosure policies are red herrings? I call bullshit on that, but you know, it seems to you, so it's your opinion, so yeah, the age-old argument, it's just my opinion, I suppose.
And it seems to be functioning as a cultural right-wing reactionary movement.
Functioning? What? I don't... What? It doesn't seem like any of that. Sure, there are probably a few right-wing reactionary people supporting and within GamerGate, but... okay.
To disparage feminism and social justice concerns and political correctness.
Oh, yeah. It's because feminists, social justice, and whoever is politically correct came after GamerGate. Not that GamerGate went after them. You know, it was about ethics in game journalism, but when feminism, social justice, and political correctness took its turn and said it's about sexism, terror on women in the game industry, racism, homophobia, whatever, that's when there might have been a few right-wingers, reactionaries, who jumped in and said, like you seem to be focused on the political side, as well as those few people. But mostly it's about ethics, it's about freedom of speech, and artistic freedom. So, okay, like, that's quite a bold claim.
And the left generally. Cultural Marxism and such.
Fuck cultural Marxism. What has that to do with GamerGate? Well, it has to do. Cultural Marxists and what not did go after GamerGate because there were women and a few trans people involved in the, you know, those that asked for ethics against those who asked for ethics, I think. I don't know how to put that well. But, yeah, like, it's quite the claim that you're making here. Again, you seem to think that GamerGate is a political movement somehow. Maybe to you it is, but GamerGate has basically every political possibility within it. Even feminists. I know a few. And I know a few, well, who are more left than just libertarian. But yeah, it's not really against the left. It's just that viewpoints of a few might differ. Basically, it's not you can't band all these people together. Oh, if you're left, then you are against GamerGate, and if you are right, you are pro GamerGate. There are people pro and opposition to GamerGate on every single place in the political spectrum.
And so it should be obvious from the start that ethics in journalism has nothing to do with political correctness.
Bullshit. Quick example. Gone Home. 10 out of 10 because of homosexual tones in there. Great. Kingdom Come Deliverance bashed the hell out because it's a historically correct medieval game. And why was it bashed? Because not enough ethnical minorities. Basically, not enough black people, not enough these or those. And people like you try to say that there are some, like, sort of people of color at that time when it's being made historically. But these people really did their research and they found that no people of color in the time period of which they're making the game. So you and the likes try to push political correctness on video game journalism.
So those two things are completely separate.
Nope.
And you will find some GamerGaters who will acknowledge this.
I don't think so.
And insist that GamerGate is about ethics in games journalism.
Yes, it is. With a few more things now.
And go on to rail against political correctness and feminism anyway.
Yes, because it is the political correct crowd and feminists who have a problem with GamerGate. And that is an action that has a reaction, because feminist and political correct reaction to GamerGate sort of put that in motion. Just saying.
And then there are also some GamerGaters who are explicitly, or who are explicit that to them GamerGate is a movement or some kind of pushback against political correctness and or feminism and or social justice warriors.
Yes, there was the internet aristocrat, Jim, who said that he wanted basically GamerGate to be a movement against social justice. I, on the other hand, think that GamerGate, for me at least, is part now also a thing against anti-censorship. It's for freedom of speech and artistic expression in video games. That people don't have to dictate what and what must not be put into games. And the politically correct crowds so want to have control over that. I'm against that. Explicitly.
SJWs.
No need for air quotes there.
And even you'll find a smaller subset of that group who will be explicit about the fact that GamerGate is about defending gaming as a male space or as a masculine space.
Well, I haven't seen any of those really in GamerGate. I mean, look at Not Your Shield. Women, minorities of all kinds, transgender, homosexuals, bisexuals, black, Asian, Native American, all. And the only people I've seen wanting to make GamerGate, no, I'm not GamerGate, gaming, I mean, to be about male-dominated and masculine and whatnot are a few comments I've seen on a few MGTOW and MRA videos, and a few videos within MGTOW. So, no, it's not about GamerGate, you're thinking of MGTOW.
And then in the next breath they'll turn around and say that they aren't misogynists.
Well, they necessarily don't have to be misogynists, but again, misogyny has been spread so thin that you could basically say, even, I don't know, if you say if a woman says, let's think of a ridiculous example, that might be true or might not be, and imagine this is a straw man, so I'm putting it there. A woman says she doesn't like milk in her coffee, and then a man says, well, I think that's stupid. To that woman, nowadays, she could easily say that's misogyny and get support for that. Yes, I know it's an example I grabbed out of my ass, and maybe it hasn't happened, but it's possible that it has happened, or similar situations. Misogyny is really a word without meaning. People like you use it to say basically anything they don't want. Basically anything. If somebody disagrees with a woman in any way, it's misogyny.
So, but the whole movement to me seems pretty misogynist, and this anti-feminist, anti-political correctness angle seems to permeate all of the discourse that goes on in GamerGate.
It doesn't seem you know a lot about GamerGate. Have you looked up Not Your Shield? You know? Or is it internal misogyny? And maybe internal racism or whatever?
Spaces. And GamerGate is also supported by a whole bunch of right-wingers.
As well as a lot of from the middle. And libertarians and whatnot. Mostly left-leaning, you know? But let's cherry-pick the right-wingers.
And cultural conservatives.
Okay. Again, the transgender, homosexuals and whatnot, I suppose they're really conservative. You know, I don't know a lot about politics, but it sounds to me like you're pulling a lot out of your ass right now.
I have a brief list.
Oh, goody. Of cherry-picked right-wingers or supposed right-wingers. Again, apart from Breitbart and Roosh in this list, I know next to no one's political leanings. And it doesn't matter.
Breitbart.com, obviously, and Milo Yiannopoulos.
Point to you.
Davis Orini.
Okay, I could see that he might be right-wing. Okay.
Karen Strawn.
No fucking idea. But not giving you any points for that.
Internet aristocrat.
I have no idea about him. Jim fucked off months ago. Nobody really cares for him anymore. Some people miss him, though. He did make good Tumblrism videos.
King of Pole.
Well, King of Pole, wow. So obvious that I'm taking the point away from you.
Justicar, Thunderfoot, Sargon of Akkad.
Sargon of Akkad, I think... Akkad, I don't know. But I think he stated himself that he's more of a center person than right or left. It's just that that one video from article from Stormfront, I think, wanted him to be buddy buds with them. Because, well, sort of the thing that feminism went after Gamergate. Sargon has supported Gamergate, and since he's like pushing against that angle, it sort of comes down that Sargon then by default must be right-leaning, right? It's bullshit, man.
And half the anti-feminists on YouTube, or more.
I don't know. I mean, they are basically more supportive of Gamergate because Gamergate was forced to be more or less anti-feminist. Though GamerGate does have quite a few feminists. I don't know really who I could point out without, like... I mean, people have their privacy, so I'm not going to name anyone. Of course, this... you can't name anyone. Whatever. You can believe me, you cannot believe me, whatever. I know that there are a few feminists at least.
Roosh V.
Again, Roosh, yeah. He's supporting GamerGate because... well, I don't know. He has that one video, but I don't care about that much.
And the Red Pill crowd generally.
Okay. What's that supposed to mean? Like, you're not sure about the Red Pill crowd generally?
And MGTOWs.
Again, MGTOWs are more towards gaming is a male space than pro GamerGate.
And a Voice for Men.
And yeah, well, a Voice for Men is... I don't care about them much, but they are sort of pro GamerGate in the fact that, again, I don't want to repeat myself because GamerGate was forced to push back against feminist claims.
That whole bunch. And Stormfront, the neo-Nazis.
Oh, I guess you're super proud of that. I never heard that Stormfront was pro or supportive of GamerGate, but if they are, it's again, not because GamerGate is right-winged, but it's because GamerGate was more or less forced to go against political correctness, social justice, and feminism.
And if anyone wants to debate whether any of these people are in fact right-wingers or not,
go and debate Sargon of Akkad, whatever, if he's right-winged.
I will be happy to do so. Christina Hoff Sommers is another one.
And a feminist. I don't know what's going on in your head, but okay. Maybe to you she's anti-feminist, but, you know...
If I didn't mention her. So all these people have a pre-existing, pre-GamerGate interest in defaming feminism and the left generally.
Might be. But then again, feminism has a pre-existing, pre-GamerGate interest in controlling what gaming is about, and game journalists also have this sort of desire to push agendas in political correctness and whatnot. So, point to you, point to me, or something.
Yeah, so it feels like a right-wing movement.
No, it doesn't.
And it talks like one.
How?
They use the language of the cultural right, like social justice warrior.
Yes, it's basically a mocking term. So, I don't think that's... Social justice warriors use the term, and they're leftist, so...
That's a term that I first heard used by Stefan Molyneux, and it
Stefan Molyneux is a fool.
makes sense when he says it, because he's, you know, to him a social justice warrior is someone who believes in, like, universal health care, or who believes that police brutality has a racial component to it.
I really don't care about Stefan Molyneux. He's a weirdo. I don't get him.
Which are pretty obvious, I would think, to most people.
Okay.
Where was I?
In your room, in front of a camera.
But yeah, feminazi is another word you see thrown around all the time, and that's
Because we don't like to generalize all feminists in one group.
a Rush Limbauhism.
I don't really know who Rush Limbaugh is, but again, when I use feminazi, it's not to put all feminists under one single word. Because I strongly believe in not all X. Like, not all men, not all women, not all feminists. It is out there.
I don't think there's any reason. I don't think there's any value in those terms for people on the left.
I don't think you think a lot.
Or for proponents of social justice, for people who, like myself, who want to defend social justice.
Why?
And feminism from attack from the right, and also want to reclaim those terms from the authoritarian left.
I really have no fucking idea what you're on about. What does this have to do with GamerGate? I really think you're just someone who saw some right-wingers on GamerGate's side and decided, well, since they are on GamerGate's side, I must be against GamerGate.
I don't think there's any value in using those terms, and
I don't think you think a lot.
Don't know of anybody who's actually concerned with social justice who uses the expression social justice warrior.
Oh, I don't know, but social justice warriors have claimed the word for themselves. We use it as a mocking term, they have turned it into something to be proud of. But now they have social justice cleric, social justice druid, blah 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 blah.
Nevertheless, a lot of GamerGaters apparently identify with the libertarian left.
Exactly.
And I also identify with the libertarian and anarchist left.
So, you're pro-GamerGate. Nah, I know you're not.
But to me, GamerGate feels pretty reactionary.
And to me, anti-GamerGate feels pretty stupid and social justicey. And authoritarian, I don't know. You know, I really don't know much about politics, and I don't even know what do these politics have to do with GamerGate. It's people like you who throw politics in to GamerGate to prove some point. Like, try to associate us with Stormfront. Therefore, it's no longer about ethics in game journalism, but it's about being neo-Nazis. And so on. There are almost every type of person on the political spectrum within GamerGate. A lot are libertarian left, but there are quite a few in the other wherevers. And you simply putting that it feels does not make it true. It's about gaming, not politics. It's about a pushback against people who try using tactics like racism against GamerGate, sexism, terror against women like ISIS and whatnot. You know, not your shield. You know, the thing that Tim Schafer used as a sock puppet. The reason why it was born. There are... GamerGate is fucking diverse. You can't simply label us, right-wing reactionaries. So, you call us right-wing reactionaries, but then you say that we identify that by libertarian left. So, which one is it? Yeah. So about what GamerGate is, found this thing today. I will put this in the description below so you might read it. Maybe you'll have a better idea of what GamerGate is, because what you said is mostly bullshit. Thanks for listening, and hope to hear from you. Bye.